Hi, we are Wild Youth.
And you are listening to The Music Enthusiast.
Hi, I'm Sarah from The Music Enthusiast, and today I'm so glad to be joined by Wild Youth, who just released their new EP. How are you feeling?
Feeling
Great.
ecstatic. We're pumped.
We've been following you guys since forever, and this EP is so great. We're all so hyped.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's so great. I was listening to it like on repeat like hours ago.
Oh, nice. What's your favorite song?
I have to be basic and say Champagne Butterflies.
That's not being basic.
But yeah, all 6 songs are amazing.
That's the right answer.
So first off, can you guys introduce yourselves and what your roles are in the band?
I'm Dave, and I am the lead vocalist in Wild Youth.
I am Connor, and I play the keys very mediocrely.
I think you do a great job, but
Thank you very much.
No problem.
What I'm not doing a great job at is fixing my...
It looks good. It looks good. So a good starting point these days is, how have you guys been dealing with everything happening in the world right now? Is it that bad where you are right now? Because in Canada, it's like not the greatest.
Yeah.
Canada, isn't it? My girlfriend's actually living in Canada at the moment.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
But yeah, it's been, I think it's pretty crazy and strange everywhere. It's been hard, obviously not doing shows, but we're very lucky we get to put out music, and we're still healthy and we still have a job.
Yeah.
So you have to take the positives from these situations.
Definitely. I mean, musically, like, I'm guessing you guys would have been like announcing a tour now because of the EP. Like, have you guys done shows?
Or maybe are.
What?
Maybe are, yeah.
Amazing. You guys just released your second EP. I'm excited. Forever Girl is so good. How are you guys feeling?
It's nice to have music back yet again. It's nice to get such great compliments like you're giving us. We feel very flattered. We've been sitting on these songs for a while now, because we recorded the majority of these songs back just before kind of COVID hit in Ireland. So it would have been in the beginning of 2020, like January, February. So we've been sitting with them for so long now. It just feels good to have them out, kind of. It's like, it's finally like a weight or a burden off our shoulders that other people can listen to them now, not us. But yeah, no, it's fun to have music out and feel like we're a band again.
Where did the name Forever Girl come from? Because it's not a title of one of the songs on the EP. So could you explain that?
Forever Girl. It was actually, there was a song written called Forever Girl. It just didn't make the EP. And it kind of came from, because the first EP obviously happened, and that was like all about like heartbreak and falling out of love and kind of coming to terms and moving on from someone. And then Forever Girl was kind of the process of finding your feet again and kind of getting yourself back into the world, being by yourself. The kind of stuff that you go through, like, you know, the parties that you go to, and you're not sure really why you're at them, because like, but everyone, I suppose, has different ways of dealing with things. But it's all about the kind of journey to actually meeting someone then and finding that person that you want to spend your life with. So it's like going from something that you thought was a terrible thing in terms of breakup and, you know, heartbreak, and then you go into this kind of spiral, which I think a lot of people do, where, you know, as I said, you're at parties and you're doing, like, you know, you're just in a kind of a lost place. Then there's the songs like Next to You and Champagne Butterflies are about kind of meeting that person. And then like, you know, even songs like Through the Phone about being with that person and being separated. So it's kind of the journey from going from one thing to the next and finding that person that you kind of feel like you want to spend the rest of your life with. And that I thought it was kind of a cool thing to be like your forever girl.
Yeah, I like that. And speaking of the last EP, do you feel as if you guys have like your sound has like evolved, I guess?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's more. I think there's more confidence in the sound now. I think there's more. It's more self belief in it. There's more adventure in it. Try new things. We're kind of. I think Connor could touch on this now, but I think it's just. I think we've got to a stage now where we're not afraid to just kind of have fun with it and go on a musical adventure. And if you notice in the EP, it's like there's like a Can't Say No beside the Champagne Butterflies that could be a kind of a different sound almost, but like it's still rooted into our wild youth. My battery's about to die. But there's still kind of just that sense of like, if we write a Can't Say No, if we write a Champagne Butterflies, we're not afraid to release it. Like it's kind of more of a self belief and a self confidence in this EP, I think, than the last.
The one thing that we wanted to do on this EP is not kind of pigeonhole ourselves into a certain sound, to kind of just take more risks. And if we wanted to write a song like Weekend Rockstars, we were just going to write a song like Weekend Rockstars. And if we wanted to put a song like Weekend Rockstars in the EP, we were going to do it. We weren't going to be afraid of whether that was going to be so different from like a Champagne Butterflies. It was like we just wanted to make a collection of music that we really enjoyed and that we were very proud of. Kind of already we started writing what will probably be our third EP or like an album, and that could be different again, you know, or maybe there could be a song on that EP that sounds like Can't Move On. We're never going to put a roof over our heads in terms of where we can go creatively, and we're never going to restrict ourselves, and we want to keep things fresh and exciting all the time. And we always say that once we believe in it and we're very passionate about it and we absolutely love it, that whatever happens with the songs happens. If they work, amazing, but if they don't, we can still stand by them. And I think that's a very important thing for us as a band. So we just make kind of what we love.
That's so great. I mean, Forever Girl sounds like, it still sounds like you guys, but you guys experimenting with what you could do, and I love that.
Yeah. Thanks. Speaking
of Forever Girl again, how many tracks were made during this process compared to the 6 that made it onto the project?
Oh, I would say anywhere between maybe 40 and 50 songs. It was a lot of songs.
And what was the process like picking between them?
I think you just go, I don't know, there's always like a feeling that you get that just kind of draws you towards certain songs that you just, I think when they happen in the studio, it's kind of like we always look at almost like a leaderboard in terms of what songs we love and what are like kind of top of the table. And that's like not necessarily meaning that the other songs that were written aren't as good. Cause like now I go back and I listen to some of the songs that were written, I'm like, this could have very easily made the EP too, you know, like there's loads of those songs. I think it's just for that EP and for that journey and for that story, you have to pick the songs that you feel will tell that story appropriately, you know, because I totally believe in an EP kind of having a narrative and almost being like a journey of that message that you're trying to get across, which is the Forever Girl message. So it's whatever's kind of most truthful and kind of fits in perfectly with that will make the EP. But there's still songs there that like we could easily release another one of those songs in a month's time, and it doesn't mean that that song wasn't good enough to get on the EP. It's just it didn't fit the perfect narrative for what was going to be this EP. But we still like absolutely love some of the songs that didn't make the EP, and we still want to try and get some of them out, and maybe they could make a EP too.
Does this happen usually that sometimes like it doesn't make this project but it makes the next project sort of thing?
It hasn't happened yet, actually. I personally have a very short attention span, so I'm always like, if something's gone, I'm like, what's the next thing, what's the next thing, what's the next thing, you know? So it's very hard for me to go back sometimes, and I'm always just like, okay, that's done. Like I want to write better now, I want to write a bigger song, I want to do something different, I want to like it. But there's definitely songs I think that we will put out for sure that didn't make the EP, but that we still absolutely love because we absolutely love the songs and we don't want them to just kind of go to waste.
Awesome. And last question about Forever Girl. Which songs were the easiest and hardest to make?
The easiest was Can't Say No.
Okay.
and the hardest was Next to You. Can't Say No, like, and we never like say this to band, but Can't Say No was like honestly written in 2 hours.
Wow.
And it kind of never really changed from how it was written, which is kind of quite unusual for us. And then Next to You was from a writing session that I actually thought was like a terrible writing session. I was like, that went terribly. And I went away, and like the producer sent me like a snippet of like a demo that we had done that day. I don't even know how we put the demo together, because I was like, we didn't have enough to like even get anything down. But what happened was I didn't even listen to it, because I was kind of so annoyed with myself, because I was like, it wasn't the best writing session. And then one night, I think I was just sitting in my house, and I kind of sometimes just sit by myself, and I'll go through loads of songs that I haven't kind of built the courage up to listen to yet, that I'd like written over, let's say, a period of time. And I remember there was like this really weird thing. There was actually no verse on the song, but it would get to the chorus, and there was the "I don't smoke cigarettes, but if you do," and I was like, wait, I was like, this is sick.
Yeah.
And then I think I like rang Dave, and I was like, are you up? I have to come over to your house. I have to play this like thing I have on my phone. And I played it, and he was like, what the fuck is that? He's like, that's so cool. And then so like we were actually like mentalists. Like we would literally listen to this like just snippet of the chorus over and over again for weeks. And then eventually I went back into the studio and wrote a verse, and then wrote like the outro.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became Next to You, but it took a long time, and it took a lot of goes to kind of get the verse thing, because sometimes you have to just kind of try and block everything else out and try and almost start fresh with a song that already is a song, if you get me. So it's kind of a weird thing to do, but yeah, but it's probably, I think, one of all of our favorites on the EP.
Yeah, it was totally worth it.
I hope.
And this is a fun question. If you guys could describe your music as an animal, which animal would it be?
As an animal?
Yeah, you weren't expecting that, huh?
That's a good question. That's a mad question.
A lion.
A what?
What?
A lion.
Okay.
A lion.
Because I think our approach to music is aggressive in terms of like we take risks,
Yeah.
but also a lot of love and kind of care goes into it. And there's also like a very kind of vulnerable side to it too. And I think lions can be like big and boisterous and aggressive, but also can be very vulnerable too.
Awesome. David, what were you thinking?
No, it's a hard one. Gorilla.
They're like
I'm saying animals I love. An orca whale.
they're all big animals though.
I suppose we all have big characters, so in a way it makes sense that we're going for the big ones, I suppose.
I love that. And last question, do you have any favorite artists at the moment that you want to share?
There's a Canadian band called Roams. Do you know them?
Yeah, they're so cool.
I love Roams. I'm obsessed with Julia Michaels' new song.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check my playlist. Obviously, The Weeknd is absolutely killing it, and he's incredible. But I don't think he needs our love. It's a band called The Aces are really cool.
Oh my god, I love them.
Yeah. Big Troye Sivan fan. Travis Scott.
I met Troye Sivan in 2018.
No way.
Yeah. I have his like VIP poster, like VIP like lanyards here, the green ones. Yeah.
Sick.
He's so cool. Troye Sivan. Yeah, so many people.
David, what about you?
I'm with him. Big Troye Sivan fan. There's a lot of artists out there, I think. There's so much music culture now, it's insane. Like there's an artist or a favorite artist for every single person out there.
Thank you so much for letting me chat with you guys. It was so much fun. I've known of you since like forever, I think. Since your first release, I've been getting press releases for you guys, and you guys are super dope. I can't wait to see what else comes next for you guys.
Hopefully we will in Canada.